Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Cask 529. I'm Bryan.
And I'm Shona.
Tonight we're going to look at a hard truth blind. All right, so Shona, we've got 4 hard truth pours.
4 hard truth pours. No, we do not have the bottles up here because Bryan was lucky enough to win these off of Whiskey Sippers during their 500 sub giveaway. And so I know he suggested that we do a show on these with the lineup. We have never had any of the hard truth line. And so when Bryan won this, I was super excited because I've been wanting to taste it. They have a really cool bottle.
And we know how Shona feels about those bottles.
So honestly, I've heard a lot of great things about their line, their whiskeys and stuff, so super excited. So if you've not heard of the Hard Truth name, because really here in Ohio, it's not talked about hardly at all. It is an Indiana distillery, Nashville, Indiana. It was just established in 2015. So fairly new, but they've grown significantly. And I guess they even have a restaurant and everything. So pretty cool place if we are ever in that area.
Is that it's a really good product.
That is my understanding as well. Yeah, so I do not have the bottles to present. However, I will go over real quick the ones that we are tasting. We're tasting them blind, so we don't know which ones are which, but we'll find out at the end because I just wanted to see which one we'd like best. Not that I have an impression, honestly, of which one I'm going to like best because I couldn't even find pricing on some of these, so I really don't know. Bryan was able to find 2 in Ohio, but not in our area, in the bigger cities in Ohio that they're available. So tonight we have the Hard Truth Sweet Mash Rye. Coming in at 116.1 proof. That is the highest proof one that we have tonight to try. It is 94% rye, 6% malted barley, and it is a small batch of 30 barrels from 2 to 3 year aged, stated, uncut and unfiltered. So that is one that Bryan was able to find in Ohio, and it retails for $64.95 here in Ohio, which really is not a bad price for an uncut barrel strength rye. The next one is their straight bourbon that is at a 90 proof. It is 73% corn, 19% rye, and 8% malted barley. And then we have the Hard Truth 4 grain bottled and bond, 100 proof. That is obviously a 4 grain, so we got 78% corn, 9% rye, 9% wheat, and 4% malted barley. And last but not least, we have the Hard Truth High Road Rye. It is a 93 proofer at 55% rye, 36% corn, and 9% malted barley.
Good deal.
I know. You ready to dig in?
What were we doing again? Oh, taste the bourbon. Yeah, I'm ready. For sure.
Okay, let's go with number 1. Getting a lot of chocolate on that nose.
Yeah, it's
sweet.
Very sweet.
A little bit of caramel, but I'm getting notes of cocoa. And when I first brought it up, nice. A little bit of char, definitely. I wanted to say this, but I couldn't distinguish what it was. I think there's a little bit of black licorice on the nose as well. It's fun.
So you said chocolate, right? I'm gonna pick that up as a cocoa. It kind of gives me that.
Yeah.
It's a really nice mouthfeel.
A lot of rye spices coming through. So I'm going to definitely pick this one as probably one of the ryes. Nice sweet finish. A little bit of a hug to it.
Not very bad though. Really.
Nice caramels and vanillas rolling through. I can see why people like these. This is good.
Well, don't get too excited. It's just your first one.
I know. Well, this one's good.
It could be like the best one. Could be.
Could be.
However, if it is the best one,
Ready to start the night.
At least we know they have one that we really like.
Some tobacco notes. Picking up a little bit of the cocoa. Not as much as I did on the nose though, but a lot of sweetness. That vanilla, it's heavy vanilla and caramel that rolls through it with the baking spices the whole way through, but it does have that nice tobacco note. The finish on it is lasting. The finish is really where I'm picking up the cocoa note, but it still has some vanilla and caramel on the end of it too.
Yep.
You can taste the toasted like oak flavor all the way through as well. It's not as prominent all the way through, but that's a really good pour.
There is a lot of spice on it.
There is. Nice baking spices. Ready for number 2?
I'm ready.
The nose on this is not as flavorful as one. Honestly, I'm having a hard time picking up anything on the nose. No bad scents, so that's good.
Yeah, there's nothing bad. It's not like soured or anything like that. There's just not. I don't get anything at all.
No, maybe just a hint of char on that one, but that's pretty much it.
That's different, but I can't put my finger on it. It's really different.
It is not bad, and so when I tell you what I'm tasting, it's going to make it sound like I don't like it, but that's not it. It tastes like a watered down barrel. I'm getting a lot of oak, like watery oak. It's very thin.
It's not bad though, guys.
But imagine a flavorful barrel. So imagine the barrel was ground up into a tea bag. It's like a bourbon tea almost. Ooh. Now, when I brought it back up to my nose this time, I'm getting a strong sense of caramel, so that's good.
Watered down caramel. I mean, I'm being legit. It's very, there's a little bit of flavor to it, but it's watery is primarily what
There is flavor to it. I'm getting the caramel and the vanilla, a little bit of baking spice. But it's very, very thin. So I am definitely going to probably say this is going to be the 90 proof. I'm going to be shocked if it's not the 90 proof.
yeah, that would be surprising.
If it was proofed a little bit higher, I bet it'd be full of flavors, like maybe at 100 proof. But it's good. I don't know how much it is, so I can't say it's not worth the value because it's not bad. It's just after tasting number 1, it's
Yeah,
not.
I mean, unfortunately, the way they hit the randomizer here, it fell in a bad spot.
Yeah. But going back, it may be different.
It may. It would have to change a lot, though. A lot.
It does remind me of a bourbon tea, because I have had bourbon tea, black tea flavored with bourbon, that we got in North Carolina. And it does remind me of that. It has just the hints of the bourbon flavors.
She had black tea that she got in North Carolina. Because
Brian's not a tea
I
drinker.
heard that we got it.
It's upstairs.
Never saw it.
It's in the kitchen. Brian's not going to make it himself. You want to know why Brian's not going to make it himself? Because it does not come in a tea bag for him to easily put in the cup.
Oh yeah, we're not using that.
He has to put it in one of the little thingamabobbers.
No, definitely not that bougie.
Because it's loose
If it
tea.
doesn't come in a bag, it doesn't even deserve to be drank.
This is a really nice nose on this one. A lot of caramel and baking spice on the nose on this one.
Is that in a bag or not in a bag?
Not in a bag. However, I'm picking up notes of corn as well on the nose. Nice nose. Hints of chocolate throughout it. A lot of caramel and vanilla. It is very thin though, just similar to number 2, but maybe a little bit more flavor in it. I know that we have one that's a 93 proof. I may put number 2 as the 90 proof, this one as the 93 proof, because I feel like it's a little bit proofier than number 2. And the flavors are coming through just a little bit more, but still a very thin pour, but very good.
So I wasn't listening intently because I was trying to find something to write what I was thinking on. However, I'm along your lines of thinking is that's a little bit, I'm going to say richer, deeper,
Bolder.
bolder than number 2. You can tell they're from the same family. It's just got a little more depth to it, but it's very similar to 2.
I mean, truthfully, right now, if I went into their distillery and these were on my flight board, I'm going to be very pleased because they are all very approachable, drinkable. Newer. When I was newer and didn't like the higher proof, I could tell you that number 2 would probably be my favorite because it has flavor, it doesn't smell like ethanol, and it's good. I mean, it doesn't burn. It would be a good beginner with whiskey.
Definitely would be. Definitely would be. I'll be honest with you. Number 2 and number 3, my nose is not what Shona's nose is. I don't get hardly anything on the nose, either of those. Number 1 I did. Number 2 and number 3 I did not.
I didn't get anything on number 2 until the second, after I already tasted it. Number 4, all kinds of baking spices coming through on the nose. A lot of caramel. Sweetness. Definitely the baking spices though. That's what kind of a little bit assaults my nose. I know it's not high proof, but the baking spices are so in there that it kind of like tingles your nose when you, kind of like pepper when you're smelling pepper.
I get the pepper.
Yeah.
I get the pepper on it.
It's nice though. It's very nice.
And that's very well stated because you do get that feeling in your nose. It's kind of like,
You almost want to sneeze
is that
a little
going to
bit.
make me sneeze or not?
Yeah.
That's really nice.
I can tell you why the pepper wanted to assault your nose, because it is full of black pepper. The taste is peppery all the way through.
I'm going to guess that to be the bottled and bond. Truly a guess. You know, I don't have any idea for sure, but I don't think it's as proofy as number 1.
No. But I really like this. Like that
I
pepper.
didn't say that we didn't.
No, I'm just, the caramels, the vanillas. It's like all intertwined all the way through with the oak. It's kind of more of a toasted oak flavor all the way through. This is nice.
Yeah, it's probably the most complex, the most in-depth. And they, if that is the bottled one, they took 100 proof, made it drink just a little bit higher. I think it drinks more like maybe a 107 or 108, and it's so smooth. Those flavors are there, that spice is there, but it's, man, everything seems to have its place.
Getting some tobacco notes throughout it. You know, number 4 reminds me similar of number 1, honestly, all the flavors that are coming through. It's a nice pour. Very nice pour. I love that pepper note that you get all the way through though. It's consistent, it gives you a little bite.
It is, it's very consistent.
I love that
They really
one.
did a nice job with that one.
Yeah.
Whichever one it is, they've really done a nice job with it.
Yeah. And you know, maybe we'll be shocked, and maybe that will be the sweet mash rye that's 116
Could be.
proof.
I hope it is, because we can get that one.
Yeah, it's the only one we can get in Ohio, so we're hoping that that one comes in first for us. Okay, go back through real quick, and we'll line them up. After drinking number 4, number 3, it reminds me of 2. It's like watery.
Yeah, it's,
Just like after we tasted 1, and then went to 2, and 2 tasted watery, then 3 had more taste. Now it's
the way these ended up here, it's like 1 and 4 are bookends. You know what I mean?
they really are. So we didn't do number 2 and number 3 any favors.
No, they definitely didn't fall in a good spot for this.
I'm here to tell you number 2 and number 3 are good. They're just lower proof, and you can tell they're lower proof.
Watch us be wrong on that.
Number 2, we're saying hard to get noses on number 2 and 3. I'm getting a lot of toffee on the nose now.
Two is different on the palate than I remember it being. It's still, I think it was going to go behind 3 for me, but it might have got back ahead of 3.
I think it's because of the order we're drinking it in.
I'm going to jump back and hit 3 again.
Yep. Mine's gonna be an easy change. Okay, while Brian's finishing up, I just wanna, ask you to please hit that like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe and leave us a comment. In addition, I would like to welcome our newest patron. Our newest patron is JSky50. We really appreciate your support. Thank you so much for joining today.
Definitely, thank you very much. We appreciate that. And my lineup is I think it matches yours, but I'm not certain.
4123.
4123.
Same as mine.
Yeah,
Wow, we're
that's-
starting to do that more often.
2 was when we went through the first time, 2 was going to be the tail end for me. But when we came back through, it just seemed to come alive a little more than 3 did.
Okay.
And when I went back and tasted 3 after 2, it was like something happened to 3.
I have great news for us.
That's the one.
Number 4 was the sweet mash rye, that 116.1 proof.
That thing.
That is the one that we can get here in Ohio.
That thing is really, really good.
So that is our first place.
Yeah.
Woohoo. All right, so our second place is the 4-grain bottled and bond. So the 100 proof came in second, which
Made sense.
made sense.
Although those 2 drank the other way around. They really did. I
you
think.
thought, oh, you know, at first I did, but until I went back, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, but I see what you're saying, because at first I did think it was the highest proof, the number 1. But when I went back, I didn't comment on that, but you're right. Third place is the High Road Rye, which was 93 proof. Makes perfect sense. And then the last place was number 3, which is the straight bourbon at 90 proof. So it
So
makes
we
sense.
put them in order exactly by proof.
Fruit, yeah. All of them had really good flavors. It's a great line. I would not, I don't even know when we would be in Indiana. Honestly, it's not a state that we go to a lot. It's not far away. But it's not somewhere we typically travel.
that's just not-
However, I can tell you if I'm anywhere near it within a couple hours, I want to stop by. It was good.
Yeah, that's. I'm excited to know that we can get this sweet mash rye, our first place here in Ohio. It's about an hour drive to get it for us, but that's. I've driven up there for other bottles.
Yeah, we'll definitely be picking up a
Yeah.
bottle of that. It's really worth it.
It's really good. Overall, the Hard Truth line is pretty solid.
Yes.
It does drop off as the proof drops.
But if you're a beginner, you're going to love that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's a great.
And
great pour.
it's something that would be good to have on the bar for a beginner
Yes.
that comes to your bar.
Because we
Really.
have several people that come and like, oh, I'll drink,
Yeah.
and they want something low proof. And number 3, which was the straight bourbon, it'd be perfect for
For
you.
sure, it really would be.
Yeah. Great lineup. Whiskey Sippers, thank you so much for sharing this lineup with us. We
Thanks,
really
guys.
appreciate it.
Yeah, we do. We really do. As soon as we won that, we were like, oh yeah, we got to do a blind on that.
We're stoked
Yeah.
about winning it.
So I think that's all we have.
It is.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. So until next time, everybody, be safe.
Thanks, everyone.